Hi, everyone, and welcome to my channel, The Pets Digest, where I talk about all things food and cats and dogs. And we focus on animals that have issues with digestive issues and issues with sensitive stomachs and allergies, things like that, from their food they eat. So, today I want to talk with you about pancreatitis in dogs and just a little bit about me. I have practiced veterinary medicine for many, many years. I graduated in 2003 and I started practicing probably in 2007, I believe, after I did a preceptorship or a fellowship. And I started the Pets Digest because I really wanted to form a community around uh, pet owners that had animals with sensitive stomachs because I had a dog that was diagnosed with pancreatitis in about it was probably 2011 and it's 2022 now. So he's had it for a little while. And I've pretty much managed to manage it with a really good diet, a really low fat diet. And we'll talk about that today. But that's him on the right, Chi Chi. And then on the left is Cha Cha. And she sometimes has bouts of IBS too. So she has some stomach issues going on too. So we're just having fun in this household. But when Chi Chi was first diagnosed with pancreatitis, I was a little devastated because I knew that it could mean lifelong management with low fat diets and other replacements, and that pancreatitis really was nothing to be taken lightly. And so let's just talk a little bit about what the pancreas is and what it does. So, if you've ever taken an anatomy course, then you may remember that a gland, which the pancreas is a glandular organ, a gland is an organ that produces and releases substances for specific bodily functions. And in this case, the pancreas is responsible for secreting digestive enzymes. So, enzymes that help break down your food when you eat, and then regulating in hormones. So, things like insulin, it plays a really big part in regulating your blood sugar levels. And again, it aids in digestion too. And it also helps to release hormones like somatostatin and glucagon, again, which helps with the blood sugar levels. So normally, when these enzymes are produced, they're inactive and they travel through the ducts to the small intestines where the digestion takes place. But when the enzymes are released prior to reaching their designated location, which is the small intestine, it can wreak havoc on the body, and pancreatitis it starts basically. So now that we know a little bit more about what the pancreas does, let's discuss pancreatitis. And pancreatitis is literally the inflammation of the pancreas. So if you ever see a word that has itis on the end, then that just means inflammation, basically. So pancreatitis is inflammation of the pancreas. And when the digestive enzymes that we talked about that usually are inactive until they get to the small intestine, when it's released before it gets to the small intestines, they literally start to digest the pancreatic sorry, pancreatic tissue. So it starts to eat away at itself almost. And that is what kind of causes all of the issues, all of the damage. And then it can also get to other parts of the body like the liver, the gallbladder, the bile ducts, and the intestines. And then you have some really, really big issues. So it's nothing, like I said before, to be taken lightly at all. So, what exactly causes pancreatitis? And unfortunately, the answer to this is really it's really not known, but many times it's high fat diets. So, yeah, unfortunately, no one really knows the exact answer to that, but it's usually seen in dogs that have a really high fat diet, that may be obese or overweight, that have some endocrine diseases or disorders. Some medications can seem to cause it, and some toxins. So, if you're ever wondering why your vet tells you not to feed your dog table food all the time, or things that may be really fatty like duck and the skin from chicken, pancreatitis is one of the main reasons why vets are like, please don't do that because your dog can end up sick and in the hospital, and you definitely don't want that. So if by chance this does happen and your dog does wind up in the hospital, just be prepared that your vet is going to have to run a couple of tests. They'll probably do, well, now we have a snap test that you can do to determine if it's pancreatitis. And then after the snap test comes back, negative or positive, they'll probably still want to send out a full panel of blood work. So they'll get a CBC chemistry. They may want to do some x rays to see what the other organs are looking like. But if your pancreatitis snap test comes back as positive, then it's diagnosis of pancreatitis. But you also want to check the other organs. So that's what the blood work will be for as well. If the pancreatitis is severe, or acute, then you'll probably expect that your dog should stay in the hospital for about at least 24 hours. So overnight care, because they'll need IV fluids, they'll need antiemetics, which are medicines that get them to stop throwing up. They'll need antibiotics and some pain medication, definitely. So, since the cause can vary greatly and we're not too sure, even though a fatty diet is pretty much seen in most cases, how do you actually prevent it? So, you want to maintain your dog at a really healthy weight. Again, avoid really high fat diets, avoid feeding them table food, keep the garbage out of reach from your pets, because even one time in the garbage and there, or even one fatty meal can cause them to have an um, acute case of pancreatitis. And acute just means that it happens quickly, it happens once, whereas chronic, like my dog Chi Chi, he's had it for the remainder of his life after he was diagnosed with it. So, and then also you'll just want to see your vet annually for regular blood work. After your dog gets out of puppy years, I would definitely say, especially if they're seniors, you'll want to get them annual blood work to check their levels. Just the basic blood work, CBC chemistry, nothing too extensive, but that should kind of let you know what's going on with them a little bit more internally. Um, and then any medications that you give your dog, you want to discuss them with your vet prior to giving them. So I hope that if your dog has pancreatitis, it has helped a little bit. If you're looking for like limited ingredient recipes and things like that you can give your dog and that I give my dog, you can check out my website. I do have some on there, and I'll be putting more up. And I do hope that this helped you if your dog has pancreatitis. And we also have a community. So if you have any questions or anything like that, even though it's best to see your vet and to speak with your vet, having a community to support you is a great help. So check out the website and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.